Hello everybody, my name is Thorgal and welcome to my Advanced Rocketry Mod Spotlight series. You guys see I've prepared a very large area where I want to cover all the different aspects and components of Advanced Rocketry in details, and it's going to be a 5-part series. I'm gonna see if I can get it into 4, but I believe it will be 5 parts because I don't want them to be too long, so you can find the information about the subject you're looking for quite easily. And we're gonna get started right now with episode 1, which is gonna cover all the basics as well as the machines that you're gonna need to process and assemble all the parts for Advanced Rocketry. I am recording this Mod Spotlight series on Advanced Rocketry version 1.2.2 in Minecraft 1.10.2. So if you play any of the big mod packs out there right now, you're actually quite a few versions behind in Advanced Rocketry. And some of the interfaces, the GUIs, a little bit different, and I'm going to explain that when we get to it. So if you watch this and you play on something like Age of Engineering or Nuts and Bolts mod packs, then it's going to be a little bit different, but not too much. And also the first part that we're going to get started with, the ore generation, is most likely different for you if you play in one of these mod packs. But by default, Advanced Rocketry has 5 of these 6 ores in the overworld. The iridium ore here, the very last one, I'm not able to find in the overworld, and it uses the Lip Vulpes API. But the ore that you're gonna need for Advanced Rocketry, besides iron and gold, and also, you know, redstone and so on, is going to be the lithium ore, copper ore, tin, rutile, aluminum, and iridium. And these first 5 here, I can show you. I prepared a little test area close to the base. I excavated everything here with the help of World Edit to show you guys the spawn levels. Pretty much everything from 64 and below, it looks like. I cannot figure out in the config, because you can only overwrite the default spawning, okay? It's not shown in the config. The only thing that's in there is that does it spawn and in what clusters, but not in what dimensions and so on. You need to overwrite those, which most mod pack creators, of course, are doing. For example, in Age of Engineering, you cannot find the lithium in the overworld. You need to go to, I believe, the moon. Yes. But anyway, so you guys see there's quite abundance of the lithium by default. There's tons of it. And then also here you see the copper and you see the aluminum. And let's see, there is also some rutile ore quite easily to find, and then also tin. And it goes all the way down, and I did a count here in almost 5 billion blocks in the overworld via World Edit, and it did not find a single iridium ore. So it is not being generated by default in the overworld. I am not sure yet where we get it. It's possible that it may be on the moon, but we'll check that when we get to there. Oops, I gotta go all the way back down. I set up my return command block. There we go. Alright, so these are the ores, and now we continue to the first simple machine that you can make that looks like a regular vanilla furnace, but it is actually the coal generator. Now, I also wanted to mention that most recipes I will not show, because everybody has JEI. I will only show certain things that I find important to know or that took me a while to figure out, but by default, just a furnace with a small battery. Now, you guys see right here, you're going to need tin plates and also iron rods. Rods, you can simply craft in a vanilla crafting table. You get them. But the plates, for example, you need to have a rolling machine or a small plate presser. And we're going to get to the small plate presser in a second, but I wanted to cover the power generation first that comes with the pack. And then, so number 1 is the coal generator that generates 40 RF a tick for a total of 64,080 RF per piece of coal, okay? And it's just like anything else, and you see 40 RF a tick is actually not bad at all, and it has an internal storage of 10,000. The next power generation that we have in Advanced Rocketry is the solar generator. This one right here, it requires a power output plug, a small battery, and a solar panel. And again, you need plates and more plates, okay? So over here in this cubby hole is where I'm going to show you how to make the plates. But by default, each one of them generates one I don't even know if it's called RF. They're just called power here. But I believe it is an RF, or it is ready to be tied in with any kind of RF. I know that all the machines you can power with any kind of other mod that supplies you with RF. And by default, like I said, you need a power input plug. That is the battery that holds up to 100,000 power, okay? And you need a lot of these also for the machines. Now, you don't need any cable, anything. As long as it touches it, it will give off the power automatically. Now, over here, you guys see I have 3. This is not a multi-block structure. And to demonstrate this here is, when you guys see, they're all full with power. All 3 of them. And when I put this down here, it's going to instantly charge with a lot. But it's only using the power from the solar generator that it is touching. Okay? So in order for you to get more than one, you need to use the energy pipes from Advanced Rocketry or any other mod's power transport conduits or cables or whatever you want to use, and just hook them up. And now when you check, we do the same thing over here. Place a new input power plug. This one is empty, this one is empty, and this one is empty. Now, if you don't have any other ways of making plates and so on, I believe the most important machine to make in the beginning is called the small plate presser. And again, this looks like a vanilla block, like a piston, but it's actually crafted with a piston and 3 iron. It just has the same texture. You can also only place it upside down. 1 block airspace, and then underneath you need to have a piece of obsidian. Okay? And then when you press this, just like a piston, it will extend if there's something underneath that works. And let me go ahead and empty this here, and I want to show you guys here. These are all the things you can process with it. So it turns the lithium into 2 dust, copper, tin, aluminum, iridium, iron, and gold, all into 2 dust. It does not process rutile. For that, you need a different arc furnace later, which is your steel in this mod. The rutile is the steel. And it also turns any block into 4 plates. So that is actually quite expensive. That is why later on you want to make yourself the rolling machine quite early if you can, because it's going to save you a lot of materials, okay? But to show you guys real quick here, you just place a block, you press it, and then you see you get 4 plates. Or the rutile ore here, I want to just show you guys, it does not work. It doesn't do anything. But if you take, for example, an iridium ore or iron or anything else, you pretty much double your ore, okay? And you can take this and smelt it down. So that is the small plate presser. You definitely want to get this early on, as soon as you got a piece of obsidian. Some people I know, they even just make the small plate presser and bring it down where obsidian is, somewhere down in your mine shaft or whatever, so they don't even need to wait until they get a diamond pick. Now, after the small plate presser, you actually need to go to the Nether. You don't need to go to the Nether, but I recommend you go to the Nether, because you're gonna need netherrack, and then you also see you're gonna need a lot of nether brick right here. And this is a very important little handheld device here, the Holo Projector, that requires redstone, iron plate, and optical sensors, which again, you craft very simple. You also need glowstone for that. So that's the reason you need to go to the Nether. And this little device here is, if you hold shift and right click, it shows you all kinds of different machines that you can make with Advanced Rocketry. And for example, let's take here the cutting machine. Okay, and then you click anywhere, right click on the ground, and it gives you a hologram of that machine. Now, there's another thing is that when you hold down shift and mouse wheel, right now on this one doesn't work because this is a single layer machine. So let me bring up another machine over here, because we're getting now to the Electric Ark Furnace, and we're going to need it anyway to put together, because this is going to be the only machine we're going to put together. On the recording, all other ones are fully prepared, so you select the Electric Ark Furnace, and then wherever you click is the center of the machine. So that's why I marked it right here, and I'm clicking there. And you guys see it shows me the first level. Now, if you do mouse scroll wheel down, it shows you the entire structure, okay? If you do shift and mouse wheel scroll up, it just goes up 1 layer at a time until it shows you the full, and then you mouse wheel up again, it shows you the bottom layer. So we're going to go ahead and put this Electric Ark Furnace together, which should be the next thing you need to build, because you're going to need a lot of steel. It does barely need any power, so 1 solar generator, as you guys are going to see here, is going to be enough. And to... Whoops. That changed because I took it off. Let's put it back down. Right there. Okay. Now the cool thing is that if you are even in survival, so let me go into game mode S, and you have anything selected, if you middle mouse click this, it will actually select the block you need to place here. Okay, and then you can just click them, and it places it right in that spot where it needs it. So you guys see, because I'm actually, you see I'm pointing actually 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks deep, it will still, because this actually has a hitbox, place it right there. So, and then in the very end, all you need to do is right-click the main block every time, and then it forms the multi-block structure. And like I said, we're going to build this entire arc furnace here together, and then you can simply, I think it works like this, just mouse wheel up, and they are fall through. You cannot stand on them, okay? And now here's something important to see. You guys see how it changes through these blocks. Whenever it cycles through blocks, you have a choice of what you can place here. So all the way around on the sides in 4 different spots on each side, on the 3, and in the front on 2. You have the choice of placing an input hatch and an output hatch, wherever you want to have them, okay? Now I'm just going to place my input hatch in the front left and my output hatch in the front right. And these other ones here, I'm going to keep as, what is this called? The heat-proof brick. Like that, and we just place that all the way around. And let me just get in here so I can get up higher. And this one here in the middle is the actual main block, the Electric Ark Furnace, which I can't break it right now. I'm not in creative, but I'll show you the recipe in just a second for that. And also, of course, for all of these here, you're gonna need a lot of Nether stuff. You need to go and get yourself a bunch of blazes, slime balls, and also a bunch of clay to make the bricks right here. Okay, and it makes you 16 at a time, so it's not too expensive, but you need to go. Now, a lot of the machines in advanced rocketry, and I'm going to show you all the different ones that are or I'm going to point them out, they have different tiers. And the Electric Ark Furnace has five different tiers, yes. Depending on what heat coils you put into it, it's faster. That's the only difference is there's no heat temperature, there's no temperature difference or anything like that. It's simply just how much faster it is. And you guys see there are 3 blocks right here on this level. These are the coils. And you see they scroll through and there's 5 different ones. And this first one here I'm going to build with the copper. That is the cheapest coil you can use. And that has a speed multiplier of 1. So it's going at the regular speed, nothing faster. And then on the top, you guys see here, there are 3 input plugs. This is the power. Now on this row right here, I'm using a regular input plug. For the rest of the Mod Spotlight series, everywhere there is an input plug required, I'm using a creative one. So I don't need to worry about running power or anything. But of course, you can do that when you play in regular vanilla. And there it is. This was the last block. And you guys see here, all you got to do here is place 1 solar panel. You can have, multiples. Later on, you're going to need more power, okay? But by default, this needs 1 power a tick. And you guys see it's slowly filling here. It's actually quite fast if you think about it. It's not bad at all. All right, so this is the arc furnace. And when you right-click, nothing happens. There is no forming. This is what it looks like the way you build it. You guys see speed 1.0 and power 1.0. The power here, I do not know how it goes up. I have not seen it ever change from 1.0, so that might be something that's going to be implemented later. All right, and these are the different tiers. Copper is regular, then you have a gold coil, an aluminum coil, a titanium coil, and an iridium coil. And let's just go through them real quick. The gold coil is 111% speed multiplier. And this is, by the way, cumulative. So this actually comes out with 3 gold coils at a speed of 1.37. Okay, you can mix match them. You can put a copper, a gold, and a titanium, whatever you like. The aluminum is 125 speed multiplier. And I need to right click them twice because the first time it's actually forming. It just doesn't change the graphics. This has a speed of 1.95, so it's considerably faster. Then you have titanium coils, which is 2.37, and then you have, if you have all iridium, you go nuts. It's 8 times speed. Okay? And, oops, where's my chest? Right there. These are the things you can process. You turn a charcoal and a iron into a steel. You turn sand into silicon, rutile into titanium, and 7 aluminum and 3 titanium, you turn into 3 titanium aluminite ingots, which are just later needed. And let me just show you guys once. In the input hatch, you put these two in. And then don't forget, you need to turn the machine on. And then these two disappeared. And it's going to take a while until, well, this one is actually quite fast. But once this is full, then these two bars need to fill. And then we're going to get the steel in the output. But like I said, the electric arc furnace you should make as soon as you can, because you're going to need titanium, which again is just the rutile ore, which you can find easily for a lot of the recipes in advanced rocketry. So here we go. Now that this is full, you guys are going to see these two here slowly fill. I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. This, I'm guessing, is the heating chamber, like it heats it up. And now it mixes these two together, and then in the output you have a steel ingot. Now, while this was going, you guys see it's still full. Because the solar panel generates 1 power, but this only needs 1 power. Now, some of the other recipes here, for example, I think the rutile, if I'm not mistaken, if we put it in the input hatch, I think this one here, no? Okay, let's see here. Electric, if I can spell, arc furnace, the usage on this, 1 RF. Okay, so the other one here, when you put the aluminum and the titanium in, it then takes 20 RF a tick. And it takes 450 seconds, 20 RF. Well, actually, this does take more, the 10 RF. But I'm guessing is because we have the... Let's check it here real quick. If we have the solar panel up here that was probably full, that's why it was charging. But now it should slowly be going down. It's still not going down. Oh, is it done? That's why. It's already done. My bad. Let's put in one more. Just so I can show you guys that you don't make enough power with only 1 solar panel. Should be going. It's still not. Is this done already? Yes, for some reason I forgot to mention this. The rutile ore process is extremely fast, almost instant. It's really crazy. But now you guys see it going down because it actually it needs 19 more RF a tick than you actually get. Okay, anyways. So let's continue with the rest of the machines. So you guys saw how to use the holographic, what's it called again? Sorry about that. Holo Projector, and how to set this up. And like I mentioned, all the other power ports that you're going to see from now on are... Oh, this one here over here, I'm sorry. I also have the regular input port. But all the other ones from then on, you guys are going to see has the creative input plug, so I don't need to give it power anymore. Okay, so one of the other early machines you want to make is probably a lathe, because you can save yourself some materials when you make all the different rods. This is the multi-block structure you need to put together. And now here you see there is a motor. And a lot of the other machines here also have a motor right there. And I think, yeah, also right here. And right here I'm actually using an enhanced motor just to make this machine a little faster for demonstration purposes. Again, all the motors just cost more materials or higher tiers of materials, and you see machine speed 1. Then the advanced one, which is made with the gold coils, is 1.5. The enhanced motor is with the aluminum and titanium, and that gives you 2 speed. And then the elite motor is made with titanium and iridium, which gives you a 4 speed. If I play myself, I will most likely just stick with the regular motors because you have a lot of other things to do in this pack. So you can just have them processed. But anyway, once you have the multi-block set up, check it out. These machines are amazing. Right-click it, and this is the lathe. Look at this model. It is absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. I love it. Okay. And these are the items you can process. See, earlier we made 4 rods out of 3 ingots. Right? If you just do it in the crafting. Right here, in the crafting table. But with the lathe, you get 2 rods out of 1 ingot. So you save 1/3 of the materials. And I also wanted to now show you guys how you can power this stuff. Recipe, by the way, is, I wanted to point that out, the control circuit. You can make these by hand. Later on, there's a way in a machine that I'm going to show you guys how you can make them. And again, just save a little bit of materials. And for this, of course, you need steel already. That's why you need to have the arc furnace first. So let's go ahead and get one of these out so I can show you. But you can put down a coal generator, slap an energy pipe between it. You might even be able to put it directly, but I like the look better, and then give it some power. And then, of course, this fills super fast. So you can even put a solar panel. These machines don't need a lot. And on the left-hand side, you have the input hatch. And this is where you put the item. What? Why you no go? Oh, I'm opening the output hatch. My bad. The top is the input hatch. The bottom is the output hatch. And of course, you can pump in and pull out with any kind of mod or hoppers if you'd like. And then we just come in here and turn on the machine. And then you guys see it actually put the rod right here. And then you see the machine coming over. I think it is really, really cool looking. And I'm going to show you guys a different color. And there's the two rods. And we put this one in here. You guys see it changes color depending on what material you put in it. So that's the lathe. Let's move on to the crystallizer. This is made with a bunch of these quartz crucibles, which the recipe is nether quartz. So you need to be gone to the nether to make this one for sure as well. This one has a different upgrade here. You guys see you can have copper coils or you can have gold. Again, the more different copper coils, the faster it is. And when you form it, it looks like this. Again, very nice model. And this one is needed for two things. That's it. You can put the lithium dust, which you get from the small plate press. And you make the lithium crystals, which are actually going to be your fuel later in your warp core. And you can take a silicon ingot and a silicon nugget. And that makes you a silicon boule. I think that is how you pronounce it. Which is needed to make silicon wafers in the cutting machine, which we'll get to soon. And then again, you have an output hatch and an input hatch. This one, by the way, this machine here, is the only one that I noticed that when you have it left and right, that you have to have them in this position. It doesn't scroll through the different possibles. So let's put these two in here and turn it on. And then it fills the tank and it see the items in there and done. And it's very fast with just the copper ones. You guys see, it was very, very fast. And that is the crystallizer. Now we'll go over to the cutting machine. The cutting machine has this motor right here. So the bigger or better the motor, the faster this machine will be. And let's form it. It looks like a table saw, right? Be careful, because when you step on it when it's running, it will damage you. It can turn any kind of vanilla log, okay? I have not tested it with modded logs, but I'm going to say most of them probably are going to work with or dictionary nowadays, but it turns any log into 6 planks, okay? It turns a silicon boule into 4 silicon wafers. It turns a basic circuit plate into basic circuits, advanced circuit plate into advanced circuits, okay? And let's just go ahead and turn this machine on, and then the input is on the left. We'll put that in there, and you guys see the item sitting up there, and it's getting sawed. Very cool. And like I said, if you touch this while it's running, if you jump up here, you will take damage. Not much, but it still hurts, so you don't want to do it. And then it goes into the output hatch right there. All right, the next machine I want to show today is the Precision Assembler. A really cool machine. Let's just form it right now. Again, there's coils in there, and I think that's it. I don't think... Oh, there's 2 motors. Never mind. There's 2 coils and 2 motors, so you can overclock this a lot if you'd like. Okay? And go ahead and let's form this. And this is probably one of the coolest machines I've ever seen. Now, this machine, the only things you're going to use is in the assembler. You guys remember the circuit boards I showed earlier? Right here, let me show you. This is 1 silicon plate, 1 copper, and 1 redstone. But if you just craft it without this machine, it costs you a diamond, 2 redstone, a lot more, right? You don't need the steel. But still, it's going to save you a lot of money. And let's go ahead and make one of these so you guys can see it in action. Let's turn, well, we'll turn it on in a second. Input is right there. Let's just put the items in. It doesn't matter in what order you put them in. They're smart enough. And you turn it on, and then you see the circuit coming through. It gets stamped. Then it gets laser cut. And then, I don't know what this is. Heated, maybe dried or something like that. And then it comes out right here. Okay? Again, how you build all the different blocks. You guys have JEI. You know how to figure that out. And now the last machine I'm going to show you today is the rolling machine. Looks like this. This one was a little bit harder to figure out for me, but the things you are making with it is a multi-step process. And it all starts with, for example, iron. So let me just show you guys here real quick. There's a recipe, the rolling machine. Let's see the usage real quick. There's a lot of usage to it. You make the tanks, all the tanks, the different sizes. You make plates with it. So now you guys see earlier in the small plate press, for 1 block, we got 4 plates. And with this one, you get 1 iron, you get 1 plate. So it saves you a lot of materials. It needs a little bit of water. Then I'm going to show you guys how to hook it up. And these are all the different recipes that you can make. You know, just pretty much plates. It's a rolling machine. All right, and I'm going to take this out and also this here, because I want to show you guys how you can add water. From other mods or whatever, you pump into this input hatch right here. You guys see it has 10,900 water. You know what? Let me go ahead and place a new one just so we can see it. And now it's empty. What you can do, for example, is if you want to stay within the mod, you take a few of these liquid pipes, however you want it, and then you take a tank, pressurized tank from Advanced Rocketry, and now let me give myself some water. Let's just put one bucket in here. You cannot right-click them. You need to put them in here, and then now it has one bucket of water. You guys see right there. Now, these right here are a little bit finicky at times, okay? But the way you get this to suck out of the tank is with a redstone signal. So if you pull the lever, you guys are going to see all the water is gone, and it's in here now. So wherever you extract liquids from, is you need to have a redstone signal. Okay, and did I take the... Let me get rid of this stuff. And now this one here, let me check here real quick. There's an input hatch here and here. There's 2 input hatches, and there's 2 output hatches. And I don't understand. It says input, but it's actually output. This one is not used. Oh wait, this one is used, but this one is not used as well in this one. Check it out. If I put the items into here and turn the machine on. Oh, actually it does use them. Okay. So apparently there's just 2 inputs and 2 outputs, but I couldn't explain why. And now we have 2 iron plates. And then you need to take these iron plates, for example, and put them back in here. And there's no real... You just see the... coming out here for a short second. I wish we could see it a little bit better because, again, it's such a cool machine. And then you take these 2 iron sheets and put them in here, and it uses them both at once very quickly and makes you a low pressure tank. So this is how you make your tanks in the mod pack. There is no other way of making the tank. So you need to make the rolling machine, otherwise you cannot go to space because you cannot take any oxygen. Alright guys, that is it for episode 1 of my Advanced Rocketry Mod Spotlight series. I hope you enjoyed it, and next time we're gonna start building rockets and actually taking off to space for the first time. Until then, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.